Hey guys, we're live. We're going to shoot for an hour again. We have a friend of the channel coming up. And this will be Samid. I think you guys know Samid. Samid is also, time was on. Thank you, Cypher. We'll see what goes on. I'm still stuffed up. Samid Lepcha is a friend of the channel's. I hope she's a friend of yours. She is also our friend Praveen's lovely bride. She has a few things that she reached out and wanted to talk about. And as we do with friends, hopefully we try whenever possible. And if things resonate, of course, to resonate is one of the most important things. Hey, Marlon, to provide a platform for people to share those important things, especially on weekends, which I like to call, Saturday sharing, Sunday sharing, where people can come up and share the things that are going on in their lives. Good news, bad news. Hopefully not bad news, but tomorrow we have another friend, a new friend actually, but he's been around for a while, Lloyd Lapp. Lloyd is a longtime practitioner, teacher of A Course in Miracles. Hey, Seb. Lee, how are you? I'm still feeling under the weather. Quite a bit so still. Hey, Praveen. So we're going to last as long as we can. I always try to make an hour in the afternoon and the evenings. I was really lucky to make it through over an hour with Michael last night, but he provided me a whole lot of energy. I kept feeling better and better the more I talked to him. Sniper, are you familiar with June Vallo Melchizedek? He did a whole bunch of Flower of Life workshops where he talks about sacred geometry, uh, as well as the Merkaba, time travel through the Merkaba. We could say interdimensional travel through the Merkaba. Merkaba is a mind construct from the Kabbalah. Anyway, our friend Lloyd Lapp, he has some experiences with Jude Vallo. He did some workshops with him decades and decades ago. We're going to mainly talk about A Course in Miracles, but I bet you with the right question, someone might be able to, maybe get a little bit of an answer if there's an interest. Type says, nope, interesting stuff though. Hey, Lady Sky. Well, it says, eat a steak. These damn plants are making me sick, is what some idiot might say. I wouldn't go so far as to call them idiots, but definitely someone would say that. Someone has says that. Which makes me think, what is it that makes meat people made out of meat? What is it that make meat eaters get sick? If it's not eating meat that gets plant eaters sick, then when meat eaters get sick, what is it? I'm still under the weather, Lady Sky. Hey, Stinkbug. How are you, my friend? Next week, our friend Julie is coming back. Julie Burst. She's been a frequent visitor. I always love when Julie comes up and chats with us. And Lisa, I'm drawing a blank on her last name, guys. That's how fried my mind is right now. I'll let you know in just a minute. Natoli. Lisa Natoli is going to come up. We're going to talk A Course in Miracles, non-duality, and healing. She had a quite profound healing journey of her own, and she has several courses that she offers on full body, full spectrum healing. Hey, Samin, she's going to be up the 10th. What day is the 10th? I think it's Wednesday. She's going to be up Wednesday afternoon, 1 o'clock. And I have reached out, and she said yes to Sheila Patel. Sheila Patel is the Ayurvedic meditation yoga specialist at the Deepak Chopra Foundation, the Chopra Foundation. She was appeared in video as one of my meditation teachers when I got certified. I might have a hard time getting through a conversation with her without getting emotional. That's how much learning meditation from her and Deepak Chopra has meant to me. I've told this story a bit, and I hope to tell her this story as well. She's going to come up. I'm just waiting for a date confirmation. She has a new book out called Awakened Sleep, and it's ways of not just tapping into the circadian rhythms to get a good night's sleep again, but to continuously get good night's sleep and also to use sleep as a deep healing force, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Sleep can actually become our classroom. So she's going to come up. We're going to talk sleep, Ayurvedic, healing, and meditation. All right, guys. Sorry I'll dive in the comment. I just wanted to catch you up. What's going on? I'm not feeling good, Anna. Still not feeling good. But I've mentioned before. Oh, by the way, our friend Praveen, Trollface Praveen, 100K subscribers. He's getting that silver play button. Can you imagine a superstar, Praveen, hanging out with the likes of me? Don't know what I did to attract such good people. Thanks for asking how I am. Man, 100K subscribers. Big congratulations to Praveen. He has worked hard for this. Amazing putting in that much time and effort while helping out people all along the way while serving his nation in the armed services and supporting his beautiful bride who whenever she wants can come on up. She's gonna give us a testimony. Syncbook says, Grandma here if you want to say hello. I do want to say hello to Miss Joan. Miss Joan, I always appreciate it when you stop by, when you and Stinkbug stop by. Thank you for watching. I hope your rehab is going well. Syncbook says that you're getting stronger and stronger. It's a little concerned that he thinks you might be getting stronger than him. So keep up the good work. Hope you're getting ready for Christmas. Patel is Indian surname. It sure is. She is Indian. Hello, my friend.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
How
Hey,
are you
first,
doing? I heard you're not well.
I am not well. I've been sick the last 2 days, but it should be almost over. Hey, before we get started, first off, congratulations to you for a wonderful seminar. I
Thank you
I,
so much, sir.
I watched the video and you were strong and you were confident, and absolutely beautiful, standing there doing what you were meant to do. Uh,
Ha,
and
just
congratulations to your husband, who has just hit 100K subscribers, which is pretty phenomenal, especially
Woo!
especially considering all of his other commitments, being a soldier, being on duty, and yet still finding time. And not only that, still finding time to help out his friends here on YouTube. You have a wonderful family.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Uh, so actually, Firstly, of course, a huge congratulations to, of course, Praveen. In fact, he caught me by surprise because the amount of hard work and I'll come to that later. But then, yeah, congratulations to him. It it happened all of a sudden, as if it was all aligned, as if it was waiting for this very day, for this very time, and it just happened. I don't know, it just happened all of a sudden. Never really knew that it would happen so soon, though.
They kept climbing. Those numbers kept climbing day after day.
I know it was like a movie. It One day it was just 1,000, and then I woke up and boom, it was 1 lakh. Wow.
So
So
tell us about you.
there's this person on the comment section, sir.
Uh-huh.
She's also from India, Chennai. Her name is Sulochna. You'll see her there. She is like a sister to us, and she was very excited to see you live today. But she doesn't
Let's
understand English, so you can just say namaste.
namaste, my friend. And we're going to mount her up if she wants to reach out to anyone or if they want to reach out to her.
Yeah.
So you have
So
big news to share
firstly,
too.
I would like to show you one thing. Did you get this YouTube recap on your YouTube application today?
I did not.
No? I'll show you one thing. So what I've done is I love storytelling, and um, to get this entire testimony going and actually making you live the journey with me, I've arranged a couple of photos of the life events that I'll be covering, so that you'll also understand what exactly happened and live those moments with us, because every picture that I took out has a story behind it. And before that, this is what I found on my YouTube recap today morning. I'll show you 1 second. I'll zoom in. So in the recap, you can see it says your top channels, and your channel is on number one.
Oh, wow. That's quite an honor. Thank you for that.
And this is what the other slide shows. I've specifically taken out these screenshots for you. It says you watched 51 videos this year of this channel. That's dedication.
That is dedication. I appreciate it.
I know. I was looking for this. In fact, I was looking for it. I was telling Praveen that, did you get your recap? He said no, I haven't got it yet. Maybe only the channels that are not monetized, maybe they're getting their recaps or something. Okay, so let's start. So, sir, firstly, I would like to thank you, because whatever happened yesterday, I know it was all written. I knew it was all going to happen, but I needed that one push, and I think that one push came from you when I spoke to you over call that day, and I did it anyway. Actually, I did it anyway, as per what you said. So yeah, I'll turn the camera on towards the slide. So well, that's me when I was 1 years old, and that's my cousin. So in this picture, you can see me pinching him as hard as I can on his leg, because I have been a naughty kid ever since I was a child. And this was the time when we used to live as a collective joint family. Um, it was my cousins, my uncles, uh, my parents, all of us stayed together. I might not turn the camera back to myself most of the time because I might become emotional. I don't want people to see me crying like a baby.
Sure.
So the camera would be over here only. So yeah, we were this big Indian joint family staying together, and I had my grandparents, my parents, my uncle, my aunt, my cousins, all of us staying together. And actually, that's what happens in Indian families when people stay together. They face disagreements, they face a lot of challenges, they find a lot of uh, little things that bother each of them, and then the family ultimately breaks and people fall apart. So we eventually turned our backs on each other, and then the family split, and we became a single nuclear family, wherein I was the single child. My parents, we lived at a rented place, and yeah, most of the times my parents were very loving towards each other. But just like every other family, family drama, a lot of fights ever since we were small. So yeah, I grew up in a kind of an environment where every single day, most probably, we faced a lot of quarrels, fightings, etc., etc. So I never thought that eventually peace is something which is actually the new normal. I thought when everybody's fighting, then that's normal. So yeah, now Samin, show the desktop image meanwhile. Here's Praveen telling me in the comment section to show the desktop image. So that's the handsome hunk over there.
He is a handsome man.
So yeah, that's a short thing about my family. But eventually, I feel that those days were important because if I never had those days, I would never be the person I am. Maybe I would never understand the true value of peace that I feel right now. So yeah, I've always been a performer. That was me performing when I was in nursery, and there was this Christmas carol playing in the background that went, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That was my first song that I ever performed on. And my mom was all, love you, cat auntie, I love you. And my mom was all teary eyes and everything. And she was so proud of me. Oh, that's my child over there. She's going. Look at her with the red nose. And you can see my nose has a red lipstick all over it because I was the red-nosed reindeer back in school. So this was a memory which I would say is a core memory, and it's so stuck to my mind because that was the moment when I saw that my parents were so proud of me. Now, it was a very nice fairy tale when I was a child and everything. But eventually, as soon as I started growing up, I found that my mentality is very different from what my family actually is. My family was a very conservative family. They come from a conservative background, and I was never okay with what they wanted me to be. I always had fights, mostly with my mom, because she felt like I'm too rebellious. And yes, maybe I was, as a teenager, I was terrible. I was horror, I would say. Maybe if I had a daughter like that, I would not be able to handle it the way my mom handled it. So I feel that even those days were so difficult to handle when I used to come back from school and all I heard was how disappointed they were on me and how disappointed they felt every time I talked back to them. Now that I think about it, I feel maybe I could have done things different. But then eventually, I met Praveen, and when I met him, he was in the armed forces already, and he was in his training. Yeah, that's him doing a monkey rope with, I don't know how many kgs was it, Praveen. If you can comment in the comment section, I think he was carrying a weight of 50 or 75 kgs
Wow.
while doing this stunt over there. So I don't know. If he comments, then I'll get to tell you that what exactly was the weight that he was carrying. So he had this rifle over here, and he had this war. What do you call it? Maybe a war backpack or something. And he had these jungle boots on. So this was a fitness task actually for them to perform to see who's fit enough to uh, move forward. So he was in the army when I met him, and after I met him, I felt that obviously that was not the age when I thought that it's going to be my forever. So I felt that okay, this could move forward. And oh, and even Praveen was a family friend, so I knew him from before.
Hey, how old were both of you?
I was 16, and since you know that he's 10 years elder to me, so he was 26. So yeah, that's when I first met him. Eventually, when I first met him, I felt I never even knew him. In fact, I did not even want to talk to him because that was I was in school that time, and I was not even interested. So yeah. So when I told him that that time I was new to Facebook, he sent me a Facebook request, and he said, why don't we meet up and stuff like that. I said, yeah, we could meet up when you are, because he was from another state in India, I was from another state, and these two states are actually poles apart. The state I am from is known for, uh, how do I put this together? It's actually known for the way we speak. Like they say, it's in Bengali. They say Mishti Bhasha. It means a sweet language, the language of love. That's how people speak to each other in our state. And where he comes uh it's very raw from in the state he comes from. So everybody's on the face like, they're too rough and everything. So yeah, those the two states are poles apart. So he's from the north, I'm from the west. And so I met him. So yeah, and this is another picture of him in his training days. uh I think most probably this was closer to when he was coming out of the training. Yeah. So eventually we started talking, and after 2 years we felt that things are working out, and then we approached our families. But of course I was too young that time. My parents did not agree to it. So we eventually decided that okay, no problem, even if they don't agree to it, we'll somehow convince them after maybe a year or two. Because eventually what we were thinking that we wanted to get married, and it was better to disclose it to our families. But things started taking a very, very ugly turn. Um, we had disagreements. My family had disagreements. They did not support this, and they eventually thought that I don't think they don't think it's a good idea. But I always I know that every decision that we take, it might not be the right decision at that point of time, but you have to make it right. So I thought that no, I'm not going to back down. I'm going to go through this. I'll stand up to them, and I will move forward with what I feel is right. So we went ahead, and it was in 2015 when we decided to get married. And this is the picture of the time we got married. This was in 2015. I'll just move the camera towards the right.
Have you
So
guys had
yeah,
your
when we got
anniversary yet?
married, yeah, our anniversary was on the 20. When was our anniversary? 18th of November, 2025. So we've completed 10 years now
10 years.
together.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you, sir. It's like my life was a roller coaster. I don't even know what happened. I never ever imagined that I'm even going to ever meet him, because it just happened as such over here when there was this festival called Durga Puja in Calcutta. So he turned up for his he taken a leave from his work, and he turned up in Durga Puja, and that was when it happened, when I went to my uncle's place, and that's how we met each other. It was as if it was just meant to be, as if, and it just happened out of nowhere. I had no relation to him, I've never seen him, etc., etc., and it just happened. That was really unexpected. And after it happened, actually, they always say now that uh, that's not exactly when life starts. That was just the stepping stone. Life actually started after we got married, because nobody supported us. We had no support. None of our families were happy. uh, we shifted to a rented place, which was maybe as small as the room that you're sitting in right now, and that there was just one room, and we had one small bathroom that could accumulate just one uh a faucet, one faucet and a water closet, and there was a kitchen. So it was a small place where we paid 5,000 rupees every month. Thankfully, the landlord was very good, but there were times over there. That time I was not working, obviously. I had just come out of school, and I had decided that I'll complete my higher education, and I will then move forward with my career and everything. So that time nobody was supporting us, and Praveen was the only person who was earning. 27,000 was his salary, and because we had taken a lot of loans because of the furniture we wanted to buy, the utensils we wanted to buy, because we had just shifted to this new place. So we spent all of our savings over there, and we were deep down in real hard debt. We were Our expenses were skyrocketing, and income was not enough. There has been a week where I've spent the entire week with just 40 rupees in my 40 rupees in my pocket. 40 rupees, I'll tell you, sir, there's in 40 rupees you'll get nothing right now in India. If you go outside, maybe if you buy a meal for one time, then you'll spend the entire 40 rupees in that just a single hour. But I had to spend that 40 rupees for the entire week. I don't know how I did it, but I just did it. It I took out 9 rupees to buy okra. I took out 10 rupees to buy maybe 500 grams of rice, and that entire week just went like that. It was crazy. And now that I think back, I still can't believe the fact that how I did it. How, and even Praveen doesn't know about it, because I've never told him. He all Now that when he got to know about all of these things, then he said that, why didn't you tell me, why didn't you inform me, I would have sent some money. But I don't know why I didn't tell him, because maybe I felt I did not want him to feel like I'm good for nothing. Maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I'm too young to get the house running on my own and all of those stuffs. So yeah, I was 18 when we got married. So that was bottom for me. I had never stayed far from my parents. I'd never stayed far from my friends, my grandparents. It was a terrible time when everybody had stopped talking to me, and I was all alone. And the only person I had with me was Praveen. He was just there. So yeah, now Praveen suggested me that I was capable enough to go and give an interview for myself, and he thought I could become a flight attendant. The very thought of it made me laugh because I had never considered myself beautiful ever in life. I had these big specs, I was suffering from myopia. I have my specs right now that I wear, the power is -9. So I've got a cylindrical power and a spherical power both. So I'm practically almost blind without my glasses. So I'd never considered myself beautiful, and I actually laughed at him when he told me, "Why don't you go join being a flight attendant?" I said, "Are you crazy or what? I don't even know how to walk in heels, and you're telling me to go and become a flight attendant." So he said that, "Arey, why not?" So he said, "You start losing weight, and then I'll think about it." So I said, "ठीक है, okay, chalo, let's go." And I joined the gym. That was my first time I ever joined the gym because firstly, though, I didn't even know how to work out. I didn't even know what is the meaning of workout because I had never worked out my entire life. All I did was I played sports in school. That's all. And yeah, I had never also been that time. I had never boarded a flight. I had never been on a plane. I was sorry for my language. I was shit scared to sit on the plane. I thought I would die. That's going to be the last day of my life if I sit on a plane. What if the plane crashes? I'm not going to see my family again. So, but then he said that, "Arey, it's okay. I've been on the flight a couple of times and you'll do it. I know you'll do it." So I started working out. My weight was 66 kgs. I lost 10 kgs and I went for an interview. Um, I started giving interviews when I was 18 years old. And my first interview was at an Indian airline called Indigo. Here's a picture of the day I went to give my interview. These were all the other candidates who was with me, who also went with me to give the interview. So they had called us to another state. They booked our flight tickets and they said, "Why don't you all come for the interview?" So we went. I sat on the plane for the first time. I kept praying to the Lord so that the plane doesn't crash. And then I landed on to my interview. And then after that, I cleared all the other rounds and they rejected me in the very last round. And I never knew what happened. They said that we don't give a feedback to whoever gets rejected. You have to just figure it out on your own. I was stubborn. I was adamant. I said, "I can't take this. I couldn't take the rejection." So there was this rule that if you get rejected at an interview at this specific airline, you had to wait for another 3 months to give the second interview again. So I waited again for the next 3 months and I went and gave my second interview. And again, I got rejected. In fact, I went to the very same company 7 times and I got rejected 7 times by the very same company.
Wow.
And each time I went till the last round and they rejected me. And I never knew why because they'd never give an explanation. So I never knew where I went wrong. But that time YouTube was very new and not a lot of people were very active on YouTube. So I started looking at videos on YouTube and I started looking for answers as to why do people reject you at a flight attendant interview. I started working on myself and I gave another 5 interviews. So that was 12 interviews and I got rejected another 5 times. So 12 more interviews and I said I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I ended up joining a call center and I told Praveen that it's done. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I joined a call center and they paid me 14,000 per month. I worked over there for 1.5 months, and I resigned because it was terrible. There were people who called us for bad service, and those customers used to abuse us over call, and it felt so terrible. It felt like I wasted my entire life and my education on just being abused by a bunch of people who I'm not even related to. So then I left the call center and I again started giving interviews. Now, this time, there was this new airline that had just come to India. The name of the airline was Vistara. That was a merger with Singapore Airlines. And I was not serious about it. I told Praveen that, see, I already got rejected 12 times, and I don't think so this is going to work. So I'm just going for this interview for name's sake. It's just a formality. Whatever happens, happens. And that was it. I got selected for the very airline I was not serious for. And that was my breakthrough. I became a cabin crew in the year 2017 when I was 19 years old. And that's a picture of me wearing the uniform for the very first time in my life. It was crazy. I'd never ever imagined that would ever happen. And I called everybody. I called my parents, I called my grandparent, as in my grandfather had already passed away when I was 13. So I called my grandmother because I was not I was I am the closest to my grandmother, my paternal grandmother. That's my father's side, my father's mummy. So I'm extremely close to her, and she was the first person I called when I got selected. And I can't even tell you the feeling that I felt. I was in cloud nine. I went crazy. I started calling every single person I know in my contact list, even if I did not talk to them for the past 10 years. I called them and I told them, you know what, I became a flight attendant. And they were like, what, are you crazy? Where you call me out of nowhere and you're telling me you've become a flight attendant? So I'm like, yeah, I know, that's crazy. So I said then, and but the main support here was Praveen, because he kept telling me, no, you've got it in you, you have to do it, I know you can do it. He was always there cheering on in the background, and not many people gave him credit for what he did, but I know the amount of work this person has put into me. And he supported me like a pillar. Every single time I fell down, he helped me up. So I started working here in 2017, and I loved my job. At least for the first 6 months, I was very happy. I cleared a couple of exams. This is my first fire drill. They had this training over there. So we were trained uh, to carry out an emergency situation if there was a fire on board. We were trained to carry out a ditching situation if the aircraft ever landed on water. So they trained us, and it was a 3 months training, and that was the best time of my life. The amazing people I met, they were all so friendly and they were so supportive, except this one person over here. Well, I'll not go there because she was a bully. So anyway, so yeah, it was lovely. I'd never imagined this would ever happen. And Praveen was proud as usual. He was already at the peak of his career because he'd already achieved what he was working for. He was the person who helped me lose weight because he used to get up at 5 o'clock every day in the morning to run 10 kilometers. Then in the evening, he went for cycling for another 10 kilometers. And even he gave maybe, I think, a couple of maybe minimum of 9 interviews to get through, where his dream job, that was the army. So he was my motivation. He told me that it's okay, I've been through this the entire time. You can also do it if I could do it. So he helped me up. Just like he got through his dream job, I got through mine. Now what happened was, it's such a roller coaster. I don't know why, even after all this constant rejection, I kept failing and failing and failing and failing, but I finally got through. But I was not happy. I felt as if, that's is this my job? Okay, okay, there was an emergency situation on board. That would be heroic to save a lot of people and stuff. But eventually, every day, it's a monotonous job. I have to go on board, greet passengers, serve them tea, coffee, and come back home. That's all. So I felt that something's missing. Something's missing. I'm not made for this. I was wanting to do something else. I was wanting to do something bigger, as if there was another purpose in life. I don't know, but I was also very confused. I don't want to feel ungrateful. I did not want to feel as if this opportunity that was given to me by God, I did not want to reject that. So, but then what happened? Because of that, I faced a lot of issues with this job. I kept falling sick every single time. I had faced, uh, I was actually started, I had just started taking therapy also. A lot of money went into therapy because I was depressed to the core. I was not liking what I was doing. I tried loving my job as hard as I could, and I never had the courage to tell Praveen, because it was his dream also that I'd become a flight attendant, and I did not want to disappoint him. I told him, I was too afraid to tell him that I did not like my job. But eventually, I lost my job in 2018, when they told me that the performance was not up to the mark, and we can't continue further. And boom, it was rock bottom again. And this time, it was all my fault. I blamed myself hardcore about it. I cried day and night. Praveen never told me much, because Praveen thought that I was a kid, obviously. I was 10 years younger to him, and he'd always support me just like that. So he said, "ठीक है, it's okay, life will move on. You can do whatever you want from now on." But then I still felt that maybe it was not the right company. Maybe what if I switch to another airline? So I did that. I again took up a flight attendant job in 2018, and I became a flight attendant in one of the leading airlines of India, that was SpiceJet. And because SpiceJet was such a leading airlines in India, and I got through in the very first go, I felt that maybe this is where God wants me to be. If every single time I'm getting through the same interview, even after so many rejections, now that I got through the same interview once again, so okay, let's go through this. Now, this was the time when I got my job, I was happy. But then here, there was a lot of problems between Praveen and me, because my timings were different. My job timings were very different than his job timings were different. When he was posted at the borders, he did not have his phone with him, and each time he used to call me, I was in flight, so I never used to receive his call. He thought that I'm become too busy with my own life. I thought he's not understanding me. There was a lot of disagreements, a lot of fights, a lot of disagreements. And of course, there was a decade of difference in our age, which is why our mentality also never matched at that point of time. I could never understand his point of view. He could never understand mine. So this was the shittiest year of my life. Excuse me for my language again,
That's okay.
because it was in 2020 when uh, we had decided to part ways. That is not working out. Actually, I had decided. It wasn't even Praveen. Because I was so I was so alone at that point of time. I
Take your
felt like
time.
nobody understood me. I was I was not in talking terms with my family. I was not in talking terms uh, with my sisters and brothers. And I just got this job. And this job required a lot of mental toughness because you had to smile the entire day, even if your mood was shitty. You had to still greet passengers and you had to stay all chirpy and happy every single time you saw somebody. Even if your mental health went for a toss, he was not next to me. And this long distance marriage, it was not working out. Each time he called me, there had been moments when one day he said that, I'm coming down. Um, I'm coming down to meet you. So what I did was I cooked his favorite meal, and I'd kept it ready. And he came home, and within 10 minutes, he got a call from his camp that you got to come back, buddy. The situation is not good. So that there has been a time where I had cooked his favorite meal. He didn't even eat it. He just met me for 10 minutes and he went back. His perspective and his feelings at that point of time, I could never even imagine. And he could not imagine what I was feeling either. It was just a big gap of emotions in between both of us. And I felt like it's not working out. And I told him that, I can't do this anymore. It's done. I'm leaving. I can't do it. And things became extremely ugly. Extremely ugly. I can't even imagine those days. We left that house where we were staying. Uh, the walls. I felt claustrophobic each time I looked at that house. It felt like the walls were closing in. It felt like I was going to suffocate alone over there. So I had broken down completely. I left all hope. I told him, this is it. I can't do it anymore. But he kept pushing through. He took an emergency leave from his work. He came down for 60 days and he said that we're going to do this. We're going to sort this out, no matter how ugly it gets. There had been time when the fights became so ugly, we started breaking things also. But then every single time it turned ugly, he was always there to mend things back. He never let go of me, ever. And that's rare. I feel that's extremely rare to find somebody who's always going to leave his ego behind just because he loves you. I wasn't courageous enough to do that time, but he was. He stood by me always. And he always chose the higher path. That's when things started changing. I started becoming more cooperative, and so did he. We started understanding each other better, and maybe that was needed to understand what we mean to each other. So we picked up from there. In 2020, COVID happened, and once again, I lost my job. This is how we used to go. This was my last operating flight during COVID, when we used to wear our gloves and uniform and the mask and everything, and we used to go to work like this. It was scary. Um, and The company told us that this is not going to work out. So we're going to sack around 250 employees from the company, and one of them is you as well. So I lost my job once again, and this time I wasn't the cause of it. And I started hating God. I started hating him so much. I I literally fought and fought hours and hours in prayers. I asked him, why are you always having to do these things to me, where each time something good happens you take it away? So I told God that if in 2 years you don't change my life, I swear I'm going to take it. I can't do it anymore. There had been times when I was in prayers for hours and hours and crying, and it was an empty home, crying at an empty home when nobody was there, just crying in prayers. After 2 years, the company called us back, and I believed that God was actually there the entire time. He was just looking at me and waiting for me to understand his plans, value the job I had. And in those 2 years, when we had no money, that is when I started posting videos on Instagram. And from Instagram itself, I used to post makeup videos. That's a makeup picture of me during Halloween. So I started making makeup videos. And to my surprise, I started earning 75,000 per month
Well,
from social media. This showed me that every single thing I ever put my hand on, God always, He was always there. I just couldn't see it. And that's exactly what happens to people these days, that we're so caught up in what went bad, what went wrong, and we're so caught up in everything bad happening that we stop seeing that those were actually blessings. Those were the learning curves, those were the opportunities in life, that maybe if that would have never happened, we would have not been the person we were today. And that was all very much needed. Each time I fell down, God humbled me. He told me that you are nothing without me. You have to hold my hand to go forward in life. And that's when I knew it's time to do something that I'd always been running away from. And thing was that thing was I started studying. I had stopped studying. I started running away, and I started looking for easy ways to get into a job. I just wanted a job just to earn money. I did not want a job I loved. So then I started giving interviews again. And I had made up my mind that this time I'm not going to settle for something which I'm not happy with. And I chose the company in which I am working in now today, which is the finance company I am in. I started working over here in 2022. That was the time when I knew nothing about finance. I knew nothing about calculations, nothing about maths. And I thought that, wow, God, yet another challenge. But this time, I wasn't disheartened. I knew that I'm going to make it again. And this time, I knew exactly what God wanted me to do. So I prayed, I studied, I worked hard, and I never missed a day where that went without praying, because that was the fuel I got just to wake up every single day and choose to make an impact in whatever I'm doing. Because that was the time I read this Bible verse that said that I don't remember the exact words, but I do remember it saying that whatever you do, do it in the name of the Lord and to glorify the name of the Lord. So I picked that up, and in 3 years, you've already seen this. This is where we are. And this is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I've been waiting for. I had always and always dreamt of giving a presentation in front of a bunch of people, sitting, listening to me, training them, telling them about finance. Not exactly about finance. I was always wanting to tell them about uh, or motivate them about something. Never knew it came in the form of finance. So when this happened yesterday, my entire life just went like zoop in front of my eyes. It was like a 7-second replay. And all I could think of when I was sitting over here and waiting for my turn to come and waiting for my turn to come and give the presentation, all I could think about was that 3 years ago, I was serving tea coffee in flight. Not that not that it's a bad job, but I wasn't happy. And God just turned the tables for me. And that is all I want to tell people, that whatever happens in life, nothing can be as bad as losing your faith in God. Once you do that, your life is going in the ditches and you find nothing. It's darkness everywhere. That is the only light I could find. And this is the only reason why things started changing for me, because He was always there. And of course, I met beautiful people like you all. So that's all, Yogi sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That is a big story. And I'm happy that I could witness that the end result in the video that you and Praveen sent me, and to see where you ended up. As I told you, beautiful, confident, strong.
Thank you, sir. And I swear this, I could not even imagine this would happen exactly 1 week after I spoke to you. So yes, if ever I write a book on the course of miracles, I would definitely add you as a chapter.
Well, that's nice of you to say. I didn't say anything that deep down you didn't already know.
Maybe. Maybe you were the messenger that day.
Well, I was happy to be part of it. And I couldn't have been more proud when I saw the video.
Thank you, sir. I hope next time it's going to be in English. I realize I'm not coming to save the nature anymore. Just enjoy what's there. Yep, absolutely. Okay, Yogi sir. Thank you so much for giving me the time you've given me. I know it was really, really, really long, but thank you.
It was worth every minute of it, and you touched quite a few people here. I think that you had some people in tears, you had some people smiling, and now at the conclusion of your story, I think everyone's smiling. I think everyone is probably right now giving you a big round of applause.
Yay!
You're welcome, Praveen. And you know what? You're in the middle of your story. Who knows where you're going to go? How far? How high?
I know. It's very scary actually.
You've already faced so much unknown that you know whatever life brings you. One, now you know that you're never, never not connected with God, and that everything that seems like a low point is just getting you ready for that next high point.
True, sir.
For me personally, I can't wait to see the next chapter for both you and Praveen. It's going to be beautiful.
Thank you, Yogi sir. And of course, uh, I would really pray that um God makes it possible for you to come to India as soon as possible. We're going to have lots of fun when you come.
You see the applause that you're getting?
Yeah, thank you so much. Auntie Cat, thank you. I love you.
Miss Blipper sums it up perfectly. For me, she chose so eloquently to share the love
Oh,
she has received is pure grace.
thank you, Miss Blipper.
Thank you, Star Seeker. Prayers up for her ministry.
Yeah, thank you, Star Seeker. True Lawn John. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Yogi sir, for having me. I'll take your leave. And
Anytime. Hey, I have a question for you.
yes, sir, tell me.
What was more difficult? You coming up and sharing this story, or when you came up to sing a song for me?
Of course, when I came up to sing the song, that's always going to be very difficult.
It was beautiful though. You know what we
Thank you,
need
sir.
next?
Thank you.
We need Praveen to come up and sing a song sometime,
Yeah, he has to sing. We just need to be ready with our earpods, though, just in case.
just in case.
Thank you, Yogi sir. I'll take your leave now.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank you for
much
coming up and sharing.
for having me.
Love you both, you and
Bye
Praveen.
bye. Bye, sir. Take care.
All right, guys. I personally did not expect to be that emotionally moved. We were taken on a journey. Praveen's laughing. Hey, Joe. Joe, how are you? So let's talk about 10 more minutes and then I'll wrap it up for the afternoon. I'm going to get a little more rest. I'll be back this evening. I don't know if anyone wants to sing tonight. I don't know um, if I'm up for it myself. but I'm always happy to provide a platform for any of you guys. Ms. Pippa says, now I really want to hear Praveen sing. Me too. Hey, Ellie. Ellie, how you feeling? We have our new friend that we met through Praveen comedy. Yeah, just sending some love. Ellie says, you okay, Yogi? I'm hanging in there. I'm a little stuffed up. Getting by. Before the evening live stream, I will squirt some stuff up my nose to feel better. It got me through last night. Longdrew said that story made me look at my dental situation in a different light. I will be resurrected by Holy Spirit and come out stronger on the other end. You will. 100%, Long John. You are on a whole new path, my friend. Anna says, Hatat Sabib. We should have taken a minute or two if you guys had wanted to ask Samim some questions. Long John says, thanks, Sugi. Thank you, Long John. Long John, been a really good friend for quite some time. It's been well over a year now, hasn't it? Cassandra, how are you? Cassandra, I appreciate the shorts you've been putting out. Zephyr says, Tiger King, chance to pop up. Tiger King, you want to pop up for 10 minutes? 5 minutes, 10 minutes? You could be the closing act. David says, I will send my singing recording to Yogi Sir and Miss Pepper. Oh, not on live. Gotcha. Cassandra says, thank you. How are you doing today? I'm a little under the weather, Cassandra, but I'm getting by. I feel like I'm talking from like 100 miles away. Love you too, my friend Praveen. Longden says, yeah, it's been a while. I love all of you so much, and this is somewhat my church, and I can't thank you enough. Hey, I get all the thanks I need just from your presence. Catch me when I was singing one of them, one of my shorts. I have not seen a singing one yet, but I'm going to go look for it after this. So we have a guest tomorrow night. We got Miss Flipper on Monday. I have a guest on Tuesday. I think. I don't remember. I have a guest Wednesday afternoon. We have Squirrel Sniper and the Esoteric Lounge. Thank you so much for the membership, the Candid Foodie. Sabine, I really appreciate that. I want to mention again that I don't know the exact date, but I reached out and she said hi. This was a very important figure for me. She is, let me read a little part of her bio. Sheila Patel. She's a board certified family physician with a focus on integrative and lifestyle medicine. She practiced full spectrum family medicine for 15 years, first in Southwest Alaska and then in Wisconsin. She then moved to Southern California and served as medical director for the Mind Body Medical Group in California for 10 years, offering integrative medical consultations, and subsequently served as chief medical officer for the Chopra Global for 4 years. This is Deepak Chopra's organization. She is certified as a instructor of Ayurveda, yoga, and meditation. She was one of my meditation teachers and enjoys making these teachings accessible to all. As well, she has a brand new book out. awaken sleep, how to use sleep as a restorative healing practice, not just mind, but for body as well as spiritual. And, for me, she's sort of been a distant figure as a meditation teacher, but a huge impact on my life. Uh, I did not think that she would come up, and she just gave a very warm and gracious yes. I would love to come up. So we're going to work out the time, but hopefully soon. Sissy says, "With a session team rewatch." Thank you, Sissy. Hey, Jamie. Jamie, how are you? Tipper says, Long John, the estate work was 15 years ago, but from my research, it should suffice if the squirrel population is less than 6 per hectares. Oh, Trollface says, Praveen says, I will also talk to ma'am in Hindi. Jamie says he's okay. How are you? A little under the weather, Jamie. So as I mentioned, I don't know if I get through. We're going to talk about sleep, how to get a deep, restful, restorative sleep, uh, and use it as a means of, as part of a spiritual practice as well. I do have ginger regularly. I have ginger and turmeric tea every night. Last thing I drink. And then we're going to talk about meditation and Ayurvedic medicine. But I don't know if I'd get through an entire conversation without getting emotional for what her and Deepak Chopra have offered me through the practice of meditation, which sustained me for almost a decade of being a caregiver for my mom with dementia, and then being a caregiver for my father, end of life caregiver, making these very, very tough decisions without meditation. And my father knew how much they meant to me. So he would always say, I'll be okay. Get your meditation in. Get your meditation in. He knew I was a more effective caregiver when I made those times, when I had that commitment. When I was, after my father passed away, completely at a loss. Lost the central focus of my life. The person who cared about me above anyone else. And I lost my job. Not my job as a trainer, but my purpose, my dharma. I was a caregiver. When I meditated and I asked myself the question, remember, meditation and prayer, it's the same thing. You might start with prayer and it leads into meditation. You might start with meditation and it leads into prayer. Prayer is just deep communication with the divine. And the divine communicates through silence and intuitive nudges. And when I asked, well, what am I going to do without a clue? One, what am I going to do without my father? We all know we're going to lose people, right? How could I be an end of life caregiver and be totally unprepared for that loss? I'm still unprepared for that loss. But more, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And as I was meditating, the answer came to me in one of those intuitive nudges, completely through silence, but I knew exactly what it was. I was told to continue being a caregiver, but now it was not to be specific to that one person. I was just to offer care to the best that I was able. That's when, even after, at that point, close or just about 3 decades of practicing A Course in Miracles, more than ever, it opened up as the entire pathway of my life that I was to offer care. For me, Course in Miracles, teaching meditation, teaching breath work, just offering love is the way to communicate through the voice for God, to continue being a caregiver. I can't wait to tell Dr. Patel what she's done for me, what her and Deepak Chopra have done for me. And whenever I talk to great teachers from A Course in Miracles, I love telling them what they've done for me. Hope I get a chance to tell all the ones. As well, caregiver is absolutely no good without people to care for. Thank you, each one of you that comes in here every day, that comes in here once every couple of weeks, that just finds a way here occasionally. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to have someone to care for. All right, I gotta go. Katsanga Suzuki, you're so brave. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry to hear about your dad. Sorry to hear about your job. I lost my job due to COVID, so I never worked anymore. Yeah, I had to close my business down due to COVID because I had my own training business. So I went to people's homes while they came to my home. And with COVID, I could not take a chance of getting my father sick. He was suffering congestive heart failure. He was over 90. A cold would have been horrible for him, let alone COVID. And I made a promise. I did not say this to my dad, but it was my own vow. My father was not going to die in a hospital, isolated, alone. I was going to be with him. He was going to have his family with him. He made it home from his last day in the hospital in hospice care. That night he passed away, and I held his hand his very last breath. And I sat through the night, and I meditated, and I had a conversation with him, and I meditated, and I had a conversation with him, all the way until the hospice team came by and took his body. Sonia says, had COVID for 2 months. I had COVID for 2. Took a toll on a lot of people. I did not. I thought about restarting my business. Of course, then when everything wrapped up, I lost one of my cars. I had 2. I inherited one from my father. Soon after, I lost my other car. So that made restarting my business all but an impossibility. So, found myself here on YouTube, hanging out with you guys. Yeah, cold can wipe out anyone suffering from a weak immune system, says Long John. Long John, love you too, my friend. So, all right, guys. Thanks. A big thank you. Sabine, I'm honored. I am really honored to have been a platform for you to share that and to have a conversation with you last week where I could have been even just a small little help. When I was sent the video of you standing on stage, so full of confidence, doing what you were meant to do. Again, looking so powerful, looking so confident. I could not have possibly been prouder. All right. I gotta go. Love you guys. I'll be back tonight. Gonna have a little bit of medication, just nasal spray. I'll be good to go. Might even sing a song. Who knows? Tiger King coming up tonight if you want. We'll hang out. All right, guys. Love you. Take care.